Hey everybody, I'm Scott Weichel. You're listening to My Kind of Country. Hope you're enjoying the show tonight. Lots of great music, interviews, and a whole bunch of people coming up to talk to you right now. One of my very favorites at My Kind of Country. This guy is not only a good friend of mine, but he is one of My Kind of Country's biggest supporters, not only for our station, but for so many other stations and other independent artists. He does so very much. And he's got a brand new project that we're going to talk about tonight. We're going to play every song off of this new EP, and he's got some special guests we're going to talk about in just a second. It is an honor to welcome my friend Arnold Connelly to My Kind of Country. Rooster, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing fine there, Scott. Thank you for inviting me again on your show, buddy. I'm having a good time here in Washington, New Jersey, the hotbed of country music.
All right. I'm really glad that I got you tonight because I don't have to do that canned rooster sound effect that I got now. See?
Yeah, but I love that thing. That cracks me up every time I hear that.
Oh man! Well, we've all been waiting for this new music from you. We've already played the Rooster Strut a few times, and you've got some other new songs you're going to tell us about, and some special guests. So let's go down through the list and talk about these great songs.
Well, sure. Of course, the very first song on this EP is called The Rooster Strut. And how that song came really into being is when I was first started in the rock industry, I'm a rock quarry guy. As many people know, I work in the mining industry up here in New Jersey. But I started my career in Kentucky, Illinois, Tennessee, Alabama, and Georgia. But they gave me the nickname The Rooster back in the early days. And it kind of stuck with me. And then I came up here to New Jersey. I was working over in northeast Pennsylvania, and one of the guys said something about, that guy looks like a rooster. And I started having fun with that, and next thing I know, I get a coffee cup for Christmas, and it had a rooster on it. And I just thought it was kind of funny, so I started doing this kind of rooster show on Facebook. Next thing I know, it kind of took off, so I just kind of ran with it. And then my sister made me a logo, and that's kind of how the Rooster Strut came into being. It was really just a joke, to be honest with you. And the area managers where I was at over there, I was an area manager over there, they called them Roosters, and I was Rooster number 4. I was the fourth one, so they got Rooster 5 now, so I'm no longer there, but so it's just a fun thing. And then Joey and I became friends, actually, if I remember correctly, through your show. You played some of his stuff at Joey Sons, and he reached out to me about writing a song, the song I Had Her First. And the song is really a story about my mom's, my sister's, this is funny, my sister's daddy is my uncle. I know it's... So,
he's from Kentucky, folks.
What's that, Scott?
I said he's from Kentucky, folks. That ought to explain a few things.
Exactly. But anyway, so the story is a story about my mom and her first husband, and my mom had her first husband, but they went through a divorce, obviously, and she married my dad. So the story is kind of through his, I had her first, and I'm the last, but I'm the last, which is Joey. And we do a duet together, and it's wonderfully done. And then the third song on the EP is called "Remind Me."
Well, hang on a second. Hang on, back up a second. Let's talk some more about this song because we've got
I knew it.
We got Joey Sons with us tonight. Joey, how you doing?
I'm great, Scott. How are you? Great to be on here, and great to have had the opportunity to work with Arnold. Meeting him face to face, I felt like I knew him forever. He has that persona, that magnetism, that musicality. You meet him, you feel like your family, and I think a lot of same thing with Lee. I met Lee, who also did a duet with Arnold, a great song for Lee. Is an amazing talent, and you meet, especially Nashville, you meet musicians, you meet other musicians, artists, and everyone. There's such a bond, through music that we develop, and it was a really humbling and great experience.
Well, that's great. Joey has been on my show several times, folks, and I met Joey through my good friend Jeff Funk with Dynasty Records some years ago, and we've always stayed in touch, and now we're kind of paying it forward, and you and Arnold got acquainted and got to record together. I think that is so cool.
Yes, I really had a great time, and flying down to Nashville is always a treat, and going down for business and work is even a bigger treat, and yes, it was a really memorable experience, and I hope to work with Arnold again, and even Lee. I would love to sing with Lee. I find Lee Polari very talented, amazing, one-of-a-kind voice, as
Thanks,
is
Joey.
Arnold. Oh, you're welcome. And, destined for stardom, just, find that song and, catapult you to the next level. And, we all kind of strive for that and enjoy the ride along the way.
Arnold, I'm going to jump the order here a little bit because Joey let the cat out of the bag. We also have Lee Polari on the show with us tonight. Lee, how you doing?
I'm very well. How about you, Scott?
Oh, I couldn't be any better. I get to talk to all you guys tonight. We're having a blast.
Yes.
This is great. Well, Arnold, tell me about this beautiful duet that you've done with Lee.
Well, the song is called Falling in Love, and most of my songs are true songs that I write. It's from my heart and experiences that I have. But this one in particular, kind of my secret to songwriting, is really a spiritual thing for me. I'll have something on my mind. I'll go to sleep, and I'll wake up, and I'll write the lyrics and the chord changes and all that stuff. And then a lot of times I'll put it on YouTube, and I call it the songwriter's cut, which is my first cut of it. And I wrote that song, and if I remember correctly, Scott, you said something that I should do a duet on that song.
I did, yep.
And it's really a wedding type song. I didn't mean it to be, but it really is. The male sings his part, and the female sings her part, and they're like standing at the altar, and it's falling in love. And my original person I wanted to do the duet with was Judy Bailey, because Judy Bailey and I did a song together not long ago. You're My Somebody Nobody Knows. And I wanted to record with her, but she couldn't be in Nashville at that time. And then, I thought about Lee. I said, she's from New Jersey. And I said, I met her through a friend, and I knew she was down there. And I said, she had come to my last recording session in Nashville, and I thought, I wonder if she'd like to do this song with me. So out of the blue, I reached out to her, and I let her listen to the song, and she was gracious enough to want to sing with me. And it was just a wonderful experience. But the song when we went to the studio, it's just beautiful. I mean, I can't explain how well it went. And I'm just thankful that she was part of the project. I hope that she likes the way the product came out. And it's one of my favorite songs that I've written, to be honest. And it's just a beautiful song.
It is. Lee, tell us about your side here.
Well, my side was I knew that I was second best to Arnold. I just knew it.
No way.
But Arnold, I don't remember what I was doing. I was doing something, cleaning or something, and Arnold sent me a text. And he said, hey, would you be interested in doing this song? And I'm so particular about what I do, Scott. I don't know why, but I'm so particular. I have to really like it. So I thought, all right, I'll listen. It's Arnold. I mean, who doesn't love Arnold? So I listened to the song, and I listened to it again, and then I listened to it a third time, and I texted him back, and I said, yep, I'll do it. And let me tell you, it is just the most adorable song. I mean, that might be the wrong word, but to me, it is just an adorable song, and I absolutely loved singing it. I loved doing my part, and I was just glad to be a part of it. Even if I was second choice, I don't care.
Well, I was so proud to have you on the project, Lisa. I hope you don't take it the wrong way. It's just
I'm teasing you, Arnold.
I know Miss Judy. I became friends through the studio with her, and I was hoping to record, and I'll get a chance to record with her again. And I'm hoping to get a chance to record with you again, all you guys for that matter. And so thank you so much for doing that. And Scott, this is so new. I haven't even sent any CDs out yet, so...
and I know, I'm still waiting, buddy. I got the songs, but I'm waiting on the CD, man.
I know. My barber here in town that cuts my hair, Miss Kathy, she got the first CD, so I gave it to her Saturday and posted it on Facebook. So I told her, you got the very first one.
That's cool.
And she's a big fan. But thank you, Lee, for doing the project with me, and I hope the song does well.
Oh, I hope so, too, because it really is a great wedding song.
Well, Lee, you were introduced to me through Arnold, too, and we certainly have played your music on the show a lot, so I'm very grateful for that.
Right.
And you've been on Janice Passon's TV show down in Pigeon Forge and the Smoky Mountains, and that's fantastic.
Yes, and I'm looking forward to being on your show, Scott.
We got to do that. Absolutely. Well, you're on it now, I guess, so.
Well, that's true.
Okay, now I've got a question for you and Joey. I have been in a recording studio with Arnold Connelly, and let me tell you, it's different than probably any recording session I've ever attended. It's a very loose atmosphere. It's a very fun atmosphere. And what was it like being in the studio with the Rooster?
It was a really great experience. I felt very comfortable. We tried a lot of different ways of recording the song. We did our first take. I said the first take is great. We did the first take when we were just, we were setting up the music and getting, at the very first day, we were getting the band together. And, the band was getting the music together, and we just did a vocal track just as a lead for them. And I said, that's great. I really liked the song. It just felt very natural, very easy. There's an ease that Arnold has in the studio that makes the experience a lot of fun. It's a party atmosphere. He's outgoing. He gets so excited, and that excitement, it bleeds into the music. It becomes part of the music, and I think that's a wonderful trait for any artist to have, is to have that magnetism that can jump over. You play the CD and you can hear that excitement in Arnold's voice and in the other participants in the recordings, and so I think it's a lot of fun. Fun is the word. I think the Rooster is fun. He's a fun chicken.
Hey, Joey, Scott, one thing I wanted to say about those two guys there, and Mike Braid with me here too. All these guys, Joey and Lee and Lee, your husband, they're on the Rooster Strut on the tail end of that song. It's kind of like a party atmosphere, so they're on the Rooster Strut too. I just want to let you know that they're singing along and roostering and crowing and everything else. So it is a lot of fun. But thank you, Joey. I appreciate you being part of the project as well. I really.
It really has been an honor to be part of the project and to work with you and to work with Lee and all the great musicians that you have on your album and your EP. It's just. It's very humbling. It's very great honor, and I can't wait to do it again. I enjoyed the experience so much that I can't wait to be back in Nashville or wherever you do record the next album, and see what kind of excitement that you bring to the table with your writing. I think your songwriting is getting better and better as you're progressing as a songwriter, and I think that's a really exciting process to be a witness to, and can't wait to see what you do next.
Well, thank you, Joey. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Lee, you haven't chimed in on your experience at the studio.
Well, that's because Joey took all of my lines. But the truth of the matter is, just like Joey said, I'm wrapped very tight. I am wrapped very tight, and I did not want to waste any time in the studio because it's all on Arnold's dime, and I didn't want him, after asking me to do this, to do it, for him not to be thrilled. So for me, there was a lot of pressure. But he was just like, no, it was going to be great, which is exactly what I needed. And my part didn't go off too well when we were doing scratch vocals, but I think we got it the next day, thanks to Arnold being nice and calm and keeping me calm, and also Arnold is great to work with, and I even know some of his employees at the Rock Quarry that say the same thing about him. So Arnold is the way he is wherever he is, doing whatever. Just a nice, great, gentle, kind person, and you'll find that he is one of the most supportive people, friends, musician, peer, boss that you'll ever find, because he's just always there for you, and I really appreciate that, Arnold. You've since the day that we met, that's how you've been. And it's funny because we're both from New Jersey, but we didn't meet until we were in Nashville. I guess that was right.
That's right.
Well, I echo that.
Yeah.
Arnold has been, as I said earlier, has been a huge supporter of not only my show, but of me personally, and all these great artists. And he and his wife came down to see me at Pigeon Forge a few years ago when we were at the Country Tonight Theater, and we had such a great time. Then we went to Nashville, and I sang some backup on one of his songs from his previous album. Arnold, we just can't thank you enough for everything you do. You're a very selfless person. And
he really is.
it really, there are so many people out there that you've helped and made connections with, as evidenced by all these great people that we have on the phone with us tonight. You're here to be applauded for that, my friend.
Yes, absolutely.
I wanted to, one other person I want to bring on the call with us, if you don't mind, is Mike Bray.
Hey, Mike.
Scott, and he plays lead guitar with me now. He used to get about 1 week, and he was the bass player at Fire on the Wire. And Fire on the Wire is a band I played with here in New Jersey, and we've done a show with you once too. And just want to, Mike, you want to say anything? Any comments or anything?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, thank you for letting me be in on the conversation. Second of all, I live a life of gratitude, and I will say that all my experiences with Arnold have been very fulfilling musically. He's uber talented, and at the same time, ground level, if you could understand that. So he's somebody who, even if he's in charge, he wouldn't be in control. He's somebody who is just like right now, as I'm speaking, nobody else is speaking, and that shows respect. The only time everybody's been speaking during this whole interview is when we're all laughing together. He brings that to the table. He is definitely somebody who's a unifier. And, for me, I'm sitting in his living room right now next to him in the flesh. Like, how great is this? Thank you.
Oh, that's great.
Hey, guys, I'll give you $20 after the show. It's nice.
Oh, man. Well, Mike, I gotta ask Mike. Mike, did you play on the A-Hole song?
We did play a couple of times.
I love that one.
We were almost going to play it during the parade. We were on a but it was one of those like a juggle, no catch. You know what I'm saying?
I love that
hey,
song.
Scott, be nice. My wife's listening to this interview. She might shut this phone off.
Well, that's why I brought it up. I knew she was listening. That's her favorite song.
Yeah, exactly.
If we can get Arnold, if we can get Dwight Yoakam to cut that song, that'd be the perfect country song right there.
It would. It would be the perfect country song. Hey, but with Mike, he did the rhythm down there, and he asked to come down. He actually come down to Nashville with me, stayed at my house in Western Kentucky, and I really did appreciate him being part of that. I mean, it takes a lot to go to a complete stranger's house. I mean, he didn't know any of my family, and he came down to the recording session, and I was grateful and thankful for that. But he also encouraged me to record the last song one of the last songs that we hadn't talked about. We'll talk about Remind Me Last, but maybe Lonesome Road. Mike, you were the one that picked that song out. You want to talk a bit about that?
Lonesome Road is a great song because it uses like the analogy of a vehicle on a road physically to talk about like how you feel inside during some struggles with relationships, loves, things in that category. But once again, pretty much every time Arnold says, "Hey, I got an idea," and he busts it out, and then we start playing it. My gosh, the truth is the truth, And for me, the truth is, that's a good song. That's a good song. I've said that so many times that introduced something to me. So I'm just, I'm really excited, and I wish, for me, it was on the musical side. It wasn't the vocal side as somebody else is here. So it was nice to see session players come in, and like was mentioned, it was on Arnold's dime, so these guys came in, they really busted it out, and then they left. So I didn't get to play with them live, but I could learn something from him as a human being as well, because I can tell you that he is so selfless that, for me, he works a we program. He doesn't work an Arnold program, and that's very inviting, and it comes out in the music. It really does. Even a sad song about loneliness is still inclusive, not exclusive.
Yeah, well said.
If you don't mind, I'd like to kind of mention the musicians that were at the studio with me to help do this EP.
I was just going to ask you that.
Mike Bray, obviously, he's one of the rhythm players on here, and I got Tim Patterson played bass guitar. He plays with Mark Chestnut. And you got Eddie Lang on steel guitar. Now, Eddie Lang's played on all my Nashville recordings. And Wesley Pryor, he plays drums. He played the drums with Mark Chestnut as well. Kevin Keys is on lead guitar. Of course, Barry Wayne, he's my producer, engineer, rhythm guy, backup vocals. He's done all my Nashville recordings, every single one of them. I've been very loyal to him. And LaDonna Brewer-Capps, she does all the background vocals. Been loyal to both those guys. And at one time, I was part owners with the studio with those guys down there. And then, of course, Lee Polari, she was, sang duet with me on Falling in Love, and also did some work on the Rooster Strut, so she got some credit there. You got Joey, of course, I had her first, the vocals, and then he also on the Rooster Strut song, as well as Tony Tolliver. He was on the piano and keyboards, and I believe he played might have been with, I think you told me, Scott, I think he was with Merle Haggard, does a song with Merle Haggard.
You bet. Tony Tolliver had some great albums out on his own, and he did a duet with Merle Haggard on Swingin' Doors. And great singer and great musician, absolutely.
The last song on the EP there is not a little bit out of order, but is "Remind Me." And Scott, the first EP I did, "My Eyes Are Only on You," I recorded back in 2017, July 2017, at the same studio, but it was a different name. On that EP, I did not put a gospel type song, but the rest of my EP, the two albums I did there, as well as this EP, I did. And "Remind Me" is really a gospel song, and in the song, it's really about the struggles that I went through the last couple of years of my job in the mining industry. I lost my job back in 2020, and I went in 2019. I went through a job change, and I am a believer in Jesus and God, and sometimes you're more than a conqueror. When you believe in Him, you're a joint heir, and we all fall down, and He's there to pick me up. And so, "Remind Me" is when I was going through all those struggles that He never left me, never forsake me, and He picked me back up. And sometimes we got to be reminded that He paid the price for us. And if you're a believer, and I'm not pushing that on anybody, I'm just saying that's who I am. And the song that's who I am. I'm a conqueror, and I'm getting doing well. And this EP was really a testimony of getting back where I belong. This is a wonderful interview, man. I love this. We got all these people, all these talented people around us, and having a good time. And speaking to you, I'm very, very humbled, and thank you for the opportunity.
Well, I want to thank all of you for being on the show. This is a lot of fun, and I do want to say something about the studio that you recorded in. I recorded several albums in that same studio back, 10, 12 years ago it's been now. Gene Breeden owned the studio originally, and that's who I recorded with there. And so that studio's got a special place for me. I know it's been changed hands a few times, but Barry is still there, and Barry and LaDonna, they're great people. And it's a wonderful place, and I always feel right at home when I'm there. And the music that comes out of there has got a lot of soul to it, including this brand new project. And Arnold, I do want to have you mention where can people get this new EP?
Well, they can find it if they want to reach out to me on my website, arnoldconnelly.com. You'll be able to get it there. I haven't got it listed on there yet, but it's also going to be on Amazon, Spotify, all the digital labels. And you can also reach out to me if you're on Facebook. I'll mail you a copy, and I'll autograph it. If you buy from Amazon, it's obviously not going to be autographed or anything like that. So I hope it does well, and just reach out to me. You can find me on arnoldconnelly.com, or you can find it digital copies, and as well as my other albums and EPs and that kind of thing. And Scott, one thing I want to also mention for the independent artists out there, all genres. Of course, I'm traditional country and gospel primarily, but go to the International Singer-Songwriter Association, become a member. It's free. Miss Tammy Dove runs the organization. I've been nominated for Songwriter of the Year, Single of the Year, Rise of Star of the Year, Band of the Year, all that kind of stuff. This year they're going to have a show in Atlanta on August the 6th, and I'll be down there. So if you're listening, guys, and you're in Atlanta on August the 6th, give me a shout. The rooster will be crowing.
All right. And folks, you can also get in touch with us here at My Kind of Country, and we'll put you in touch with Arnold as well. And on our My Kind of Country Facebook page, we'll have that information on there for you. And Arnold, again, thank you. Every week, you are so loyal about not only listening to the show, but you're chatting with us along with Janice on the Facebook chat. And you're so great about posting all the songs so that I can share them with the artists. And I want to thank you again publicly for that, because that means so much not only to me, but to all those artists that you take time and do that for.
Yes, that's the truth. Thanks, Arnold.
Yes, thank you, Arnold. You're a really amazing, amazing musician, and you're an amazing friend as well.
Well, thank you, fellas. And Miss Janice Parsons, Scott, I have to mention her. She's a big supporter of independent artists, and she has In the Grove down in Oak Ridge area, Tennessee, and does a TV show, and she's invited me on there 3 or 4 times, and I it's a long way from New Jersey to East Tennessee. I can go home some to Eastern Kentucky, West Kentucky, and eventually I'll get on her show. But I have to stop by her studio a few times, and this Janice is such a fine person, and Billy Wright. I got to be good friends with all of them, and I'm looking forward to being part of her show as well in the Grove on Saturday night, and of course on her radio show as well. And then Miss Lee, maybe she and I and Joey, we could all do a show down there in Oak Ridge one of these days. You never know.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Absolutely. Count me in.
That would be fun. And Janice, you can hear her show on earsradio1.com every Sunday, 2 to 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. She's one of my dear friends as well, and she plays great country music as well. So thank you, Janice. And Arnold and everyone, Lee, Joey, Mike, thank you so much for being on My Kind of Country, and we're going to play the Rooster Strut for everybody right now. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Adios.